Hello, and welcome to a bonus episode of Ice is Slippery, an unserious podcast about hockey brought to you by 1.5 hockey fans. My name is Kate, and I'm the hockey fan.
And my name is Fred. I'm half a hockey fan.
Good afternoon, Fred. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, because we're here to talk about Heated Rivalry some more.
Yeah.
It's the only thing we can talk about, it feels like, these days.
I mean, it seems like it's the only thing anyone's talking about these days.
Yeah, and that really has carried through to our house. I think it's safe for me to say that you're just about as enthusiastic a fan as I am at this point.
Well, you know, episode 3 definitely showed me the capabilities of the storytelling. And yeah, that hooked me. And episode 4 followed up on the promise that episode 3 gave me.
Yeah, I think it's been really great. So before we get into talking about episode 4, I just kind of want to talk about the cultural impact of the show a little bit.
Oh my God, right?
It's been huge.
Holy smoke.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them.
Yeah, which, by the way, you called this.
I did.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. Before they even had U.S. distribution, I was like, I will be watching the show somehow.
Yep.
I was like, they'll probably get U.S. distribution though. And you were like, really? And I was like, you have no idea how insane this show is going to be.
Yeah. No.
And you did not have any idea.
You were on the ground floor.
I was on the ground floor.
Yep.
The house wasn't even built yet. I was like standing in the foundations of the house.
Yeah. When the announcement came out about the show, you were like, oh, this is amazing. This is going to be big. And you were right.
I was right.
Once again,
as per usual, I was right. And that's why everybody should listen to me all the time.
That's why I do it.
Exactly. It's been working for 20 years. I don't see how I have to stop now.
Nope.
Well, on Tuesday, the Montreal Canadiens were hosting Pride Night at the Bell Center. That's a hockey team, in case you're only here for, Heated Rivalry and you're not a hockey watcher. But they invited Francois Arnault, who plays Scott Hunter, and Sophie Nélisse, who plays Rose Landry, to be guests at the game. And I heard some people saying, oh, it's probably just PR and the show reached out. No, the NHL invited them. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Also, I mean, Bell Center is Bell Media.
It is. It's all corporate synergy.
It is. Yeah, the corporate synergy for sure.
But it's nice when corporate synergy works out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And anytime you get more Scott Hunter, I'm down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And yeah, it's Pride Night. So obviously it's kind of a great celebratory atmosphere anyway. And they decided to really embrace that by showing the trailer for Heated Rivalry on the Jumbotron.
Amazing.
At the game.
Amazing.
Which is wild.
And historically, I guess, the Canadians are a pretty pro-Pride team, right?
Yes. Yeah. They have a really good track record for stuff.
Yeah.
Some teams are better than others. They're definitely one of the better ones, for sure.
Right. Yep.
So, and it just is really sort of great too, because that's, Rachel Reed, who wrote the books. That's her team that she has watched for years.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Jacob Tierney, who adapted the books, that's his team.
Yep.
So for them to sort of be in this position this is our Pride Night. This is all happening at the time the show's blowing up, and have them there. And then Francois Arnault gave an interview during intermission in French.
Yep.
Which was so cool to watch.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm so delighted. And this is really the first time we have anybody from the NHL sort of openly acknowledging that this is a thing.
Right.
So great. I love it. It's so good. Connor Story and Hudson Williams were not at that Pride Night game because they were busy embarking on a whirlwind press tour in LA. They pretended to wash each other on the street in front of a digital billboard of them in the shower.
Yeah.
So that was cute.
Super funny.
Yep. Super funny. And they made a surprise appearance at High Tops, which is a gay sports bar in West Hollywood, during a trivia night, where Connor Story said to the patrons, "Thank you for tweeting about our butts," which, you're welcome. Yep. I don't have Twitter, but if I did, I probably would have been one of those people.
For sure. There's no shortage of butts.
There's so many butts, just butts everywhere. And they did a ton of media while they were in LA, including interviews for Entertainment Weekly. They did one for Vanity Fair with some really amazing photos too. Yep. I mean, that's big deal shit. It's really awesome.
Yeah, Vanity Fair is a not a trashy magazine.
No, that's a pretty established thing.
Yeah, pretty established at this point.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, a photo shoot in Vanity Fair is a big deal.
It's a huge deal, and they were fantastic photos. And I've been, my algorithm is basically just all Heated Rivalry all the time now.
Apparently mine is too.
Right.
I've lost my bird content and it's just all Heated Rivalry.
There's worse things to have, basically.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, I'm getting posts from like the stylist for the shoot, the photographer for the shoot being like, look what I got to do. And it's just like, everybody's so happy that they get to be involved with this show.
Yeah.
Including me.
Including you.
Just as a viewer from my couch. They also, Connor Story and Hudson Williams also got to go to an event at the Chateau Marmont called the Actors Night.
Oh, wow.
And Francois Arnaud joined them there. And it was hosted by Elle Magazine and the Actor Awards, which are the new name for the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that, but
no, me either. But yeah, I mean, no, that's a big deal.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I love that for them.
Yeah. And you said one of them was waiting tables 40 hours a week, like a couple weeks before the show started shooting or
Connor Story, who plays Ilya, he was waiting tables.
Yeah.
And then now he's doing all this.
Sometimes when you're an actor, it just works out. And I feel like he's not going to wait tables again for the rest of his life.
Probably not. Yeah. He's, I think, a star. You know,
I think they both are.
I think they both are, but there's something about him in particular where
there is.
That's captivating. But I think Hudson Williams is also equally fantastic.
Yep.
So just in a different way.
Yep.
So it's great. Jacob Tierney, the showrunner, has also been super busy. He popped up on CNN, you know, as you do.
As you do.
And then he did a lengthy interview on the What Chaos podcast, which still has some of the best, most enthusiastic coverage of this show.
Yeah, they are. Well, at least the guy on the left is totally into it.
DJ, he's great. Yep. I'm obsessed with listening to his takes. I just always want to hear what he has to say about the show, which is great.
No, that was a great interview.
And it turns out there was a really good reason for all of this press blitz, because on Friday we got official word that Heated Rivalry will be back for season 2.
Yeah.
It was kind of a poorly guarded secret because Hudson Williams kept being like, in season 2, I mean, if there is a season 2, because he's not great with that. There's a great clip of like, who on the thing is like the worst with spoilers, and Hudson Williams like, it's me, I am. And everyone else like, Hudson.
Yeah.
And then they just cut to a clip of him being like, in season 2, if there is a season 2. But so we all kind of hoped it was coming, but we have the confirmation.
Yeah.
So it looks like season 2 will focus on the book, The Long Game, which is the second book devoted to them in that Game Changer series.
Nice.
So I'm over the moon. I'm really excited.
You're going to have to reread that one now too.
I am. So that's because I have now reread Game Changer and Heated Rivalry.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't wait anymore.
You couldn't.
I needed my fix.
You just needed to relive the experience.
I did. It's true. Now, of course, whenever something blows up like this, there is always a little bit of backlash.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There is an actor from I Love LA who said some critical things about it. Mostly that the actors should be gay, or if they haven't come out as gay, that they should come out, or just some real bad takes. Some real bad takes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm old. I'm in my 40s. Like, I've been around, and like representation is super important, and like accurate representation is super important. You know, I too was one of the people who was like, why is Jake Gyllenhaal the Prince of Persia? Like,
right, for sure.
I have definitely been down that road before, but what we're not doing is forcing people to come out or define their sexuality for people.
Yeah.
Especially because, I mean, that changes for people. Like it's not something people know right away.
Yep.
It's not something that's like always definitive.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm all for all that stuff and have been over the years, but I think that guy just had a bad take on like critiquing the show in that context is kind of weird.
He basically, I think, is jealous.
Yeah, well, clearly, yeah.
And yeah, that's, sour grapes. So.
Yeah, because it's a great show. It's doing really well. They're handling everything fantastically.
They really are. And, you know, I see all these different critiques about, you know, whether the actors are gay, whether they're not, whether they should be out, whether they shouldn't. At the end of the day, I think in this particular case with this particular series, it really needs to be about the actors for these roles. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think this show would be what it is if they hadn't had like the perfect Ilya and the perfect Shane.
Right.
And these two actors totally embodied those roles, and they get it so much. I was watching an interview with a guy named Jeff Conway, who I think is with Forbes, and he was interviewing both of them. And he has kind of a standard question that he asks. That's if you could tell your character anything, like what would you tell them? Mm-hmm. And like they both got really emotional about it, you know, because like they have they have so many feelings for their characters.
They're invested, yeah.
And what their characters go through. And
that's what comes across on screen as being great. So, yeah.
They're so invested. And I think that's what is really working for the show. So I just think all of the right people are involved with this show.
Clearly.
And there are people who are going to be like, ladies shouldn't be writing these books, or people shouldn't be adapting this, or different people should be acting. I don't care about any of it. I think, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best possible adaptation of these books you could have.
Yeah.
And it's because of all of the people who are involved.
Absolutely.
And if anybody wants to say anything, I will fight them.
You will fight them.
I will. I watch a lot of hockey.
Yeah.
I feel like I've picked up some tips from some hockey fights.
You have.
So I'm very defensive of Shane and Ilya, of Connor and Hudson.
Exactly.
Of everybody in the show, of Rachel, of Jacob. Like, I don't care if it's parasocial. I will fight.
Absolutely. No, I feel defensive of, like, you know, the wardrobe person and the lighting person and like the music picker person. Like, everybody involved is doing a great job.
They all are doing so good, and they all just deserve like warm blankets and not people being jerks about them.
I want a warm blanket.
I mean, I have one, but you can't have it. So too bad for you. All right. Well, now that we've kind of got all that out of the way, I feel like we could maybe talk about the actual show if you're ready.
I think we can do that.
All right. One thing I wanted to touch on before we get into episode 4 is, in our last bonus episode, we were covering the first 3 episodes of the show, and there was a lot to talk about. And I missed something very important.
Yes.
And that is that, how is that smoothie shop still open?
Oh, yeah.
Because it does not have any customers. Like, Scott Hunter is the only customer at that smoothie shop.
He is. And that's not like a small smoothie shop. Like, that's a big lease in New York City.
It is. It's pretty spacious.
Right.
And I mean, all that fresh fruit in this economy. In Esta Economia.
Right.
It's pretty alarming.
No, absolutely. I mean, it definitely works out budget-wise to not have a bunch of extras milling about.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but I just was like, is it because the smoothies are so bad? Because we did talk about how bad the smoothies look.
I mean, they're horrific. And yeah, they probably have just 1 star on Google.
Kip Smoothies are going to single-handedly tank the smoothie store.
Yeah, they have like the ratings in New York City too, right on the windows. Probably got like a D posted on the window.
Probably. Oh boy. No, it just reminds me of that like pizza place where we used to live, where there was never anybody in there, and we're pretty sure it was a mob front.
Yeah.
I think that's the Straw and Berry story. I think it's just a mob front.
Right. Kip's the front. He's the face of the money laundering.
Unwitting face of the money laundering. So, yeah, no. I mean, that's maybe why his smoothies are so bad. He only has to make like 2 per shift.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have any time to work on his smoothie craft because he's at the gym.
He's at the gym constantly. All right. Well, let's talk about episode 4 now. So the last time we saw Shane and Ilya, they had hooked up in Vegas and they did not kiss, and everybody was distraught about it.
Everyone died at the end of that.
Everybody was having feelings.
They all expired.
So many feelings.
Yep.
Expiring all over the place. So when we pick back up, things are still a little frosty between them, let's say.
Sure.
Ilya's taunting Shane on the ice and stealing pucks and getting hat tricks while Shane seems very confused. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Shane being confused is a theme of the episode, I feel like.
He does have a confused look on his face quite a bit, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think
I would too.
Well, yeah. But I think that like goes with the character just being maybe a little confused.
Yeah, he's just a little confused.
He might have some confusion internally.
He's doing his best. So I think a lot of us kind of thought coming in that this is going to be like, oh, they're going to be all, at each other's throats. But no, they're really just kind of like, okay, we're just moving past whatever happened in Vegas.
Yeah.
And we pick up again. So the whole first maybe 5-6 minutes is just this opening montage.
It's literally just the whole Feist song.
It is. It's the whole Feist song, My Moon, My Man, which very cool song choice. We can get into that in a little bit. So it starts in summer 2014, and then it goes all the way through October 2016. And we see this sort of progression of their relationship through this montage of sort of texting and flash cuts in between them. So it's like the off season kicks off. They're like, hey, bye, have fun over the summer, kind of whatever. So, Shane will be doing some kind of an ad because his mom has set him up with these ad things.
He's certainly and clearly become like a sex symbol and like a big time spokesperson.
Yes, he's getting good at the modeling. He's standing there. They're spraying him down with water.
Yeah,
in his wet t-shirt.
I was going to say, unlike the first ad that he did, he won't need to take a shower after that ad.
Yes, exactly. It was just shower and commercial all at once.
All at once.
So multitasking, which I think Shane is probably very happy about the efficiency of.
Absolutely.
So that was great. So Shane's doing all of his ads. Ilya is in nightclubs doing shots.
Yep.
1 year. And then the next year he's hooking up with some lady.
Yep.
And you just kind of see them, in the off season, they kind of text at first, then don't talk much. But then during the season, they're checking each other's schedules and seeing when they meet up, and they are texting. And when they are in town, they are banging.
There's a lot of banging.
So much banging.
Yep.
So this is really where we got, I think what a lot of us were thinking was going to be the case of them just constantly hooking up all the time, because there was confusion in like the first 2 episodes of like, did they hook up between sort of their first,
Right.
their all-star game hookup and then the time that they were at Shane's apartment? And
because in the book they are.
In the book they are.
Right. You said there's a sex apartment, right?
There is a sex apartment in the book that Shane buys because he's very guarded and he does not want Ilya to like see his life at all. And he doesn't want there to be any risk of anybody seeing Ilya in or near his apartment because that would be terrible.
Yeah. So you just buy a whole building.
So you just buy a whole building for fucking.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
Hey, props.
If I had a lot of money, I would probably just buy a building just for like decorating, like a life-size Barbie dream house.
Yeah,
so a sex apartment isn't that bad, I guess.
No, definitely not. It's not going to be on his AD though.
No, definitely not. No, nobody can know about that one. I'm sure he's got like shell corporations who own that one.
Yeah,
so that one's wild. Anyway, we just kind of keep seeing that progression of all of the different things that are happening.
Yeah, the opening montage was great. The song was great, and it's some of it. I feel like we've finally seen like a lot of hockey in this episode. There's like a lot of hockey shown. So all the people that are like, "Where's the hockey?" Well, it was in this one.
It was there. It was right in the montage.
Right there.
So there you have it. No, there was plenty on the ice. You see them kind of like crashing each other into the boards and then crashing into each other in bed, and it's that sort of juxtaposition.
There's a lot of juxtapositions in this episode.
Many juxtapositions. One thing you do see too is that this relationship does somewhat evolve, because at first it's kind of they just text at the beginning of the summer and then they forget about each other and then they pick it up again. But by the last summer, they're fully texting during the summer. Ilya's at a nightclub in Russia and some girl's trying to hit on him and he's like, no, thanks. I'm texting my stateside boo.
I did like that because that was towards like the last part of the montage. So you could see kind of a progression of like, no, I'm not. He's kind of involved now a bit more with Shane and kind of digging on that.
And you see it with Shane too, because Shane is doing one of his commercial shoots and he's on his phone and they have to tell him to get off of his phone.
Right.
And he's like, oh yeah, okay, back in a professional mode. And Shane, he never mixes business and anything else. So for him to be texting full on in just the middle of a photo shoot is crazy.
Yeah.
And when they are texting sort of, during the games and things, it's not just, you're not just seeing like the steamy texts, like you are seeing their faces a lot more and they are very smiley about each other. Like,
for sure.
They're very happy to be seeing each other. So things have evolved on both sides, but I don't think they're having a lot of conversations about it.
No, I don't think there's a lot of talking other than the texting and like the, hey, let's fuck.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I don't think it goes much deeper than that, right?
Yeah, I think that's where we're at.
But you do see like a lot of like the smiling in the faces, right? Like when Shane wins the cup, like Ilya's on the couch watching.
Yes. Yeah. So Shane wins a cup and first Ilya is at home by himself and he's watching on TV and he smiles.
Yep.
Which is kind of a mirror to the first episode where Ilya won the cup and Shane was watching with his teammates and he kind of let himself have a little bit of a smile.
Yep. And
then Shane's team wins a second cup and this time Ilya's watching with friends and he's kind of says, oh, it should be me, which somebody's like, is he talking about winning the cup or does he want to be the cup and he wants Shane to be kissing him? Like, what's the deal here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, unfortunately, they did not change the cup.
The cup still looks like something out of like a 70s, like
man
office, like sales office.
Like you would get that shit at the mall in the 90s and like get those plaques engraved.
It's not a great cup.
Oh man, no.
Maybe next season they'll upgrade. Maybe they'll have a better cup budget for next season.
They got to do something because that shit is whack as hell.
It's not good. It's not a good cup. So
I will say too, I noticed because we watched it. I've seen it now twice. You've seen it 3 times.
Yes.
But during the champagne celebration in the locker room, they have plastic sheeting up on the stalls, which is so like actual hockey.
That's very important because we have learned that in the past, people have not done that.
Right.
So if a team wins the Stanley Cup, they will basically just trash their dressing room and they'll be spraying champagne and beer everywhere. And I think it was 2 years ago in the Panthers one, they did not seal it down. And it was like tens of thousands of dollars.
They had to like replace.
They had to completely gut the room and replace everything. They made it look exactly the same, but then they went and they made sure to tape everything down with plastic sheeting the next year. And then they did in fact win again. And this time I believe the room survived intact.
Yeah,
so
that poor crew at that stadium. Arena. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I can't even imagine. Yeah. So especially because I think they were like, and it was like, we went away for like a day or two.
Right.
And it was just like food, like champagne and no.
So anyway, I thought that was a nice touch.
That was a really nice touch. So again, love that attention to detail. So this has taken us all the way up into October of 2016 now. So now we're fully, I think, 8 years after they first started hooking up.
Yeah.
Or 8 years after they met, 7 years after they started hooking up, maybe.
Right.
It's been a long time.
So a lot happens in 8 years.
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
So we open in October of 2016 with Shane going to the aquarium with his teammate and friend Hayden.
I want to go to that aquarium, by the way.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's not the boy aquarium, it's the fish aquarium. I feel like I should clarify.
Yeah. No, not the. I mean, we could go to the boy aquarium there too, but that looks like a pretty solid fish aquarium.
I have heard great things about that aquarium.
Nice.
So yes, they're at the aquarium with Hayden's many, many children.
Hayden is funny as hell. And I don't know, did you notice like you don't see any of his kids like at all? Like that's
the baby.
You see the baby, right? Yeah, but man, that's a great way to like again not pay extras is just have them talk off screen.
Yeah, just be yelling at the children off screen to stop murdering each other.
Yeah.
And to have them like running around in a parking lot and being like, that's it, I'm getting a vasectomy. Yeah,
that actor is killing that role too.
He's so good in it. And Hayden's an important part of the books. He is a really good friend to Shane in the books. He's a bro. Like he's great.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see him kind of come to life on the screen like that. And I feel like they've done a good job setting that up because you've kind of seen Shane have dinner at his house a few times. Right. You even see that in sort of the summer montage.
Yep.
At one point, he's texting Ilya from Hayden's house. So, you know, Hayden's his person.
Right.
Hayden and his wife, really, they're like his people. So, but Hayden still doesn't know this very important thing about Shane.
What's that?
That he's fucking Ilya Rusnov.
Oh, right. Yeah. He doesn't know.
Yeah, no, he's like, hey, girls, what about him?
Yeah.
And Shane's like, that's private.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, okay, weirdo. But he's just trying to like hook Shane up with like his wife's friend. And he just is like, come on, get married, have babies. That's what we do. Because I keep in mind, these are all guys in their 20s. I mean, Hayden's probably like 24, 25, and he's on his 4th kid. So,
right.
You know, and that's not unusual for hockey culture.
Right.
It's a lot of them get married young and start having kids young. And
yep.
It's more the exception, or it's more the rule than the exception.
Yeah.
In that case. So Shane does kind of stand out a little bit as being somebody who has not seriously dated.
Right.
And is not bringing girls around.
There's no wag in his life.
There is no wag.
Nope.
It is a wagless existence.
The other thing I noticed in that aquarium scene is that Shane does not know how to hold a baby.
He does not know how to hold a baby.
I was so worried about that baby's neck. I was like, man, dude, no. Like,
he's very awkward.
And his friend should have been like, no, this is how you hold a baby, which would have totally been outside the scene. But yeah, I was worried about that kid.
I know. I just think it just, again, shows like how unprepared Shane is for anything that's not hockey.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, okay.
He did like sell like the awkward holding of a baby, but also like, man, support that kid's neck.
It wasn't like it was a newborn, so it's okay.
No, I know, but it was still kind of just bopping around, just flopping around.
No, he very much was just like, please tell your dad to leave me alone. But other than that, did not really interact with the children so much.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty true to the book, honestly.
Yeah, makes sense.
So Ilya watches a TV special about Shane's cottage that he has. It looks like a very nice cottage.
Yeah, that was kind of like the AD thing. That felt like kind of an AD thing, except the doing yoga thing is definitely more like a.
I think it was more of like a sportsy, kind of vibe. But yeah, I grew up going, to Maine in the summers, and there were definitely things where it was like, oh, we have a cottage, and it would be like a multi-million-dollar place on the lake, and that is definitely Shane's cottage. Is one of those kind of
one of those cottages. Yeah. I didn't grow up around that.
No,
that kind of when you said you had a cottage, it was a shack out in the woods.
Right. Exactly. For cottages, there are like different echelons of cottage.
Yeah.
Like my family did have a cottage briefly, but it was like a 2-room cabin. So very, very different vibes.
Sure.
The other ones we would go to were for friends, but. Yep. Shane's cottage is a very nice looking cottage.
It's a great place to do yoga at sunset out on your front lawn.
Exactly. And in the book, I think Ilya's like excited to see a glimpse of one of the places where Shane lives, because he still hasn't seen the inside of Shane's regular apartment because they only fuck in the sex building.
Right.
So.
Oh, interesting. But then he was like, I'm going to turn this off, Svetlana. I don't want to like be too into this or whatever, right?
Yeah, no, he's like, oh no, this is boring. I was just totally zoning out. Like I wasn't watching my hot guy that I have sex with do yoga. That's totally weird. And then he and Svetlana are in a car going somewhere, and Svetlana's like, hey, you seeing anybody? What about this Jane girl you're always texting? And he's like, what? No, that's not serious. And then you see him start to have a little bit of an existential crisis. Like, oh God, we have been texting for years. Like, what does this mean?
Right.
And then in the meantime, we have Hayden noticing that Shane's always texting a girl named Lily, because the next time they're in the same town, Shane's going to go meet up with a friend. And Hayden's like, yeah, I know you're going to go hook up with that girl Lily. You're always texting. He's like, what? No, I'm not. No, there's not.
Yep.
And so it's, it just shows that everybody's kind of seeing through them to some extent.
Yeah, for sure. And they're starting to kind of pick up on themselves, which is a weird thing to say, but
I think it's almost like they're realizing they're being so transparent in front of everybody else that like, oh shit, like, are we having feelings? Because everybody thinks we're having feelings for these people.
Right.
But like only we know that these people are actually like our rival. So because everybody's just kind of making the assumption that like, oh, it's just a girl you're talking to. It's this, it's that. Like it doesn't ever, Hayden doesn't ever make the jump that like, oh, it's a code name or anything.
Yeah.
He's just like, nope, go have fun. I'm going to enjoy having this hotel room to myself.
Yeah. And when we watched that the first time, I remember saying to you, I'm like, it's so weird that the superstars like sharing rooms and you got all hockey on me.
I could be wrong on this, but I do believe that it was a lot more common for players to share rooms prior to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it was during COVID when they started having more individual rooms. And then after COVID, it was more like, I think rookies would basically, like rookies and people on their entry level contracts would double up.
Right.
But sort of the more established players would get their own thing. And I think that was just something that got negotiated in like the CBA, like the players contract agreement thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think...
Unless you're on the Sharks, and then it's just a big slumber party.
And if you're on the Sharks, then it's just a slumber party at all times, and that's fine. And that's cute.
Yep.
So, I think just based on the time of when this is all set, I think that was still pretty standard.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense. So.
And narratively, it just makes sense, too, because it just makes it that much harder to sneak around on the road,
Right.
When you're like, oh okay.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I've noticed you always disappear in this one city. And you're always texting this girl in this one city. And it's like, no, nothing's happening. I don't know why you would think that. And it's just like, they're so bad at lying to anybody except for themselves and each other.
Yeah.
But that's it. So this is, I feel like, a really big turning point in the show and the book and the relationship, because Shane heads out and goes to Ilya's house. And I'm getting the impression this is the first time he's been to this particular house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've always been hooking up in hotels or if maybe Ilya used to live somewhere else.
It looks like the same house that like Svetlana like jumped him in.
It does, but I think it was Shane's first time there because he starts talking about like, oh, did you have this built or do you know who built this?
Yeah.
And Ilya's like, okay, Mr. Real Estate.
Right.
Because
super funny.
Because Shane's all about his investments and his business opportunities.
Yep.
And so they kind of are like, should we have some small talk? Now let's just hook up.
Yep.
And they do. And then Shane's out of bed and like, I guess I should go. And Ilya's like, no, come back into bed. And then basically kind of convinces him to stay and like spend the night, which is huge.
Right.
I mean, it's been 8 years and finally we're talking about spending the night together. That's a big commitment.
Slow roll.
Listen, I mean, you know, like me back in the day, I had some commitment phobia issues. So I find it very relatable that they would be very nervous about planning an overnight 8 years into their enemies with benefits relationship.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's just, I think Ilya at this point is starting to realize like, oh, I maybe do have feelings for this boring ass weirdo. And yeah, he's here. Let's make this happen. Let's actually enjoy ourselves for more than like an hour.
Right.
And Shane's a little more reluctant about it, but he kind of lets himself be persuaded. And they actually curl up and take a little nap together and spoon. And it's very sweet and adorable.
Yep.
And you're just like, yay, let's just do this for the rest of the time. And spoiler alert, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So they get up and Ilya decides he's hungry. He gives Shane his clothes, by the way, you know.
He does, yeah.
Because Shane's fully just wearing like pajama pants and a t-shirt around the house.
Yeah, you're skipping over the banging, right?
Oh, I did skip over the banging.
Because there was banging.
There was banging.
They didn't spoon and then just go make a sandwich.
No, you're right. No, listen, well, I think, listen. I'm just so excited about the emotions that are happening.
For sure.
But you're right, because there was a sex scene in there, and this isn't sort of expressed in the TV show, but if you've read the books. In the books, at this point, most of the time they've been hooking up, it's been sort of like taking him from behind kind of a situation. There's not a lot of looking into each other's eyes.
It's not real intimate per se.
It's not real intimate. They're not like facing each other a lot.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of, it's more sexy and it's less like romantic. Mm-hmm. And in the book, Ilya basically is like, hey, you should get on top of me. So they're looking at each other. And that's what the scene is they're looking at each other. So it already feels sort of more, I think, vulnerable and what have you. And then they spoon, they fall asleep.
Yep.
And they wake up and Ilya's like, I'm hungry. Let me make you some food. And he gives Shane some clothes to wear around the house that are presumably his own clothes.
Oh God, people must be dying over that.
I mean, I haven't seen it too much, but like I am. So I'm sure other people must be.
Yeah. And when they were in bed too, I noticed this on the second watch. There's a chain around Ilya's neck and it has like a certain kind of cross on it. You said that's a thing which we don't need to spoil, but like I noticed that they were kind of like calling attention to it almost.
Yeah, if you go back and watch the earlier episodes, he's always got that necklace on.
Okay.
He's always wearing that cross necklace. He's chewing on it at one point.
Yeah.
That necklace is an important part of his character. And I believe that will come out in hopefully one of the next 2 episodes because it is part of this particular book. So.
Yeah, that was the first time I noticed it. So so they did a good job drawing my attention to it, I think.
Well, excellence. Yes. No, that is definitely a thing that plays a role in the book, a part of his character development. So they wake up from napping and Ilya has ginger ale in his house.
My kind of guy.
For Shane. Well, yeah, you love ginger ale.
That's my shit.
You're more of a diet ginger ale guy. Well, you'll drink regular. You don't care.
I mean, I'll drink calories every now and then.
If it's ginger and it's ale, you're in.
Man, that's my shit.
Yes. Well, Shane also loves ginger ale. And so Ilya has gone and stocked up on ginger ale and specifically for Shane.
And didn't make like a thing about it either. Just handed him a ginger ale. Yeah.
And in the book, this is where Shane is like, wait, he gave me a ginger ale. Like, how does he know I like ginger ale? Do I know things like that about him? Oh, no, I do know things like that about him. So really this whole scene, Shane is kind of having slow, panicky feelings happening in the book.
Gotcha.
I don't know that we see that so much here.
You see the culmination of it, but I don't know if they relay that necessarily. Like, I think you can piece it together towards the end of that scene, but like, yeah.
Yeah. I will say people have been looking very forward to this scene, the tuna melt scene. It's
the tuna melt scene.
The tuna melt scene. It's a big sort of pivotal point in the book because it's sort of where Ilya starts to express himself and show vulnerability. You know, I guess in Canada, tuna melts are like a thing, like a comfort food. And that's not like a Russia thing.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So Ilya's making something that he thinks that maybe Shane will find.
Oh, wow. I didn't pick up on that at all.
Comfort foodie.
I was like, tuna melt? Gross. No. Ew.
I know. Same. Yeah. I'm not a tuna melt gal myself.
Yeah.
But he's got Shane's drink. He's putting Shane in his clothes. He is making this, he's trying to pretend that he's all casual about this. Oh, I guess I'll make myself a tuna melt. Do you want one? And then he's pulling out all of his Tupperware with all of his pre-measured ingredients for 2 tuna melts.
Right.
Like, he's got this planned.
Yeah, no, this is I did not realize that. That's amazing.
He is ready to kind of try to start talking a little bit about what they have going on.
Right.
Or something. He has realized that there are feelings happening.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have any idea how to like sort of bring that up.
Right. Which is maybe why he starts talking about like banging Svetlana.
Correct. Well, they go over to the couch. They're waiting for the tuna melts to be done. Ilya has his hand down his pants, which a lot of people are very upset about that from like food safety standpoint. Because they're like, there's no way he went and washed his hand before he pulled those tuna melts out of the oven. And I'm just like, guys, Shane has had his mouth way worse places. Like Shane does not care if his hand was in his pants before these tuna melts were made.
No, absolutely.
It's fine.
No.
It is what it is. These are gross hockey players in their 20s. Like they don't give a fuck.
No, absolutely. And at the end of the day, it's kind of a normal dude thing to do.
It felt very comfortable and casual. Yeah. I mean, Shane's kind of all like prim and proper on the couch, all sitting up, and Ilya is just slouched, hand down the pants. No shirt, just vibing.
Yeah. I wanted to mention too, one of my favorite parts of them sitting on the couch was just ripping into Buffalo. Like,
yes.
Fucking Buffalo can't catch a break, not even on this show.
Not even on this show. No, if there's one thing if you watch hockey, it's that Buffalo is miserable for many, many reasons.
The place and the team, which they shout out, the place sucks and the team sucks.
Exactly. It's both of those things.
My God.
And it's interesting because that comes up in the context of them talking about a character named Ryan Price.
I wrote down Ryan Price. I was like, this seems important.
There is a whole book about Ryan Price.
Oh.
Ryan Price is a character in the Game Changer series. He is basically sort of an enforcer, defenseman type person who they bring him onto teams to basically be the fighter guy.
Sure, yeah.
And on ice, he is very brawly and violent. And off ice, he is a big, large man with anxiety. And that's kind of his whole tale and everything. And so he has his whole romance in a book in the series too.
Nice. Yeah. No, I definitely noticed the way they dropped that name and the way they didn't talk about it. Like they cut it off. I was like, ooh, this Ryan Price, he must be somebody.
Well, apparently Jacob Tierney has bought the rights to all of the books.
Oh, good for him.
So I'm assuming that in, next season and possibly more future seasons that we might not be focusing this might not be the Shane and Ilya show all the time.
He's going to have to branch out.
Probably season 2 will be because it'll be around the long game. But if they want to keep going, then they can bring in these other things. And Ilya and Shane can still pop up because Ilya pretty much pops up in all 6 of the books of the series.
Gotcha.
Mostly as an antagonist, mostly as like some guy's just playing hockey, minding his own business, and then Ilya Rozanov's being a bitch. Like That's just his character. He's just like a little chaos gremlin, and that's great. But yes, there is for a while, Ilya and Ryan Price do play on the same team, and that's part of one of the books. So that has already happened basically at this point.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So anyway, I just liked that they brought him up. They mentioned that. It makes me think maybe we'll be seeing more of him in the future.
Yep.
Just kind of like how we saw little glimpses of Scott before we got the Scott and Kip episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And I liked them sitting on the couch, like talking hockey.
Yes.
Which was cool, right? Like, all right, now we've seen a lot in air quotes, a lot of hockey, but now we're also talking hockey.
Yeah. And that is, again, sort of a thing about the books is like, this is about the point of the books where they start texting about hockey too, which they haven't done before. Before it's all been to set up hookups.
Right.
And then around this time, give or take a little bit, they start talking about hockey as well in the text. And it's like, why haven't we been doing this at all before? But it's like
literally the thing they both like, the only thing they know about. And yeah, they're only just now starting to talk about it.
But they were so compartmentalized.
Yeah.
But you see them having this very sort of basic conversation about like, where do you like to play? Where do you like to play? Because they have not had small talk before.
Right.
Because they've been fucking for 8 years, but they don't have conversations.
Yeah. And Shane kind of alludes to that, right? About not knowing stuff, right?
Well, I think what you're referring to is when Ilya says he's lazy and Shane says, I don't know that side of you.
Exactly.
I think that's different. I think that's more he's paying a compliment because with Ilya, he's always been told he's lazy, like by his dad and by stuff like that. And Shane's like, I don't see that at all. Like you work really hard.
You're a hard worker. Okay. Yeah. I think I misread that then.
Yep. So that's how I took that.
I think that's better. Yeah. And I think that is actually what was going on there.
And that's why, again, I'm always right. And why you always listen to me.
Absolutely.
So that's fine. So Ilya does get a phone call from his dad, who we've seen some hints over the episode that his dad is starting to slide cognitively.
Yeah.
He has Alzheimer's. It's progressing. And it's a really sad phone call. His dad is clearly confused, doesn't know what's going on. Right. Ilya is paying his brother to look after him, and his brother is ditched out on him.
Yep.
And it's very stressful. And Ilya is probably like, I'm trying to seduce my quasi boyfriend enemy guy and like get him to fall in love with me right now. And these are too many feelings and I don't know what to do about this. So he has to kind of like get his game face back on before he goes back out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I really liked that phone call scene because like the art and kind of the cinematography of him being a little off center and the art on the wall, I thought it was very nice. This was
beautifully shot.
This was the first episode. And I think we didn't talk about this on the previous breakdown of this, but part of what makes it was making it feel kind of hallmarky or like they're the only people in the world is all these up close shots with no environments, right?
Yes.
And this episode, we get environments. We get, somebody scouted locations and they're showing like where they are and they've lit the whole place. And it's not just, up close face shots. And I thought this one was done very nicely.
I fully agree with that. I think this one has done the best for the world building at this point.
Yeah.
Seeing Shane at the aquarium with Hayden and Hayden having a family and not just being a guy in the locker room. And then Ilya's house. All of that stuff, I think, was very important to kind of really show how far they both have progressed sort of individually and how this sort of relationship is now like a thing.
Yeah.
That they're kind of like, oh God, like all of our lives are going on and we are still doing this. Like what's happening?
Yeah. And Ilya's father too, they show him in the montage opening scene. And so he's on screen for like 5 seconds and he's just sitting on a couch with a vacant stare. And my God, it crushes me. That actor is somehow crushing a role where he's just got to sit on a couch with a vacant stare.
No, he did such a good job. And yeah, Ilya just handing him the cup of water and him just looking at it really confused for a second.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
Absolutely.
So sad. And you kind of just, I think, get to see these glimpses more of what Ilya's dealing with. So I think a lot of people had this read on Ilya like, oh, he's this like playboy and he's this and he's that. And it's like, I mean, yes, he is, but like he's dealing with lots of like family trauma and stuff.
For sure.
And like in a culture where that's not talked about. And then also being in sports culture, which is not great about stuff like that. Yep. So he doesn't have any way of like expressing his issues with this.
He's got to deal with that as his giant palatial estate in Russia.
Yes. But then he comes back and then Shane actually asks him how his dad is.
Right.
And he's like, oh, you speak Russian now? And he's like, well, I know the word for father. And
then, yeah, Ilya cuts it off right there.
Yeah, because he's like, oh no, the feelings.
Oh no, the feelings.
But he does scooch closer and kind of puts his arm around Shane too.
Yeah.
So it's like on the one hand, it's like, oh, he asked about this. Like he is caring about something. Like this is a thing.
Like he's not ready to open up about it, but he's realizing that there's a level of intimacy starting between them.
Exactly. So they cuddle up and then that turns into them hooking up on the couch. And it's just such a huge change from the earlier love scenes. It's out in like the daytime.
Yep.
There's daylight. It's on the couch.
Yeah, the couch, I wouldn't have done that on that couch. That was a nice looking couch.
It's a very expensive looking couch.
Right.
So I'm sure they can hire like a very good cleaner for it. We're so old. We're just talking about the practicalities.
I'm just like, oh, guys, man.
Really? The upholstery? Come on, guys.
Be careful. Be careful doing that there.
Like, do you think there was Scotch guarded? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I think that hookup feels a little different too, because Shane's really kind of the one who initiates it, and he climbs on top of Ilya and is really kind of driving the ship, which in most of what I think we have seen, certainly in the books, but most of what we've seen on screen too, Ilya is very much sort of the one in control a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's kissing, and it's like very sort of like uncontrolled, like just kissing all over the faces and like.
Yeah, it was a pretty hot scene. That one felt like actual, like real people doing hot stuff.
Yeah.
To a certain degree.
Yeah. No, it felt very like realistic and just of the moment. And that's where you have Ilya call him Shane for the first time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I mean, I know them talking to each other kind of that way was noticeable, but I did not see. I'm slow, but yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah. So that was the first time Ilya ever calls him Shane. And then Shane says Ilya after that, kind of helplessly.
Yep.
And then Shane freaks the fuck out because
gotta go.
Oh shit. Feelings.
Yeah.
Like feelings are happening.
The feelings, the awareness is seeping in, and he's confused, like we were saying.
He has so much confusion.
He has the anxiety and the panic around the confusion.
Yes, all of those things. And we did kind of skip over, they were talking about girls earlier, because Ilya was kind of talking about like, do you have girls that you hook up with? I have girls that I hook up with. And some people took Shane leaving as like, oh, his feelings were hurt because he's more into Ilya than Ilya is, and that's why he's leaving. I don't think that's the case at all. I feel like all of the conversation is Ilya is really trying to get a handle on whether Shane is seeing anybody else, because Shane keeps everything locked down so hard. And even when he straight up asks, he's like, oh, I never hear about you with girls. And Shane's like, well, that's private. And Ilya's like, okay. And he's like, I keep things private, obviously. And Ilya's like, okay, but like, do you like girls?
Right.
He's trying to like suss it out. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He's trying to figure out what the things are.
Yeah.
And
you can tell like him being like, yeah, I bang Svetlana sometimes doesn't really sit well with Shane.
Right. He definitely feels awkward and uncomfortable about it. He doesn't love hearing about it. And I think Ilya can kind of tell that and kind of changes the subject a bit too.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, I mean, he straight up says, I like girls and I like you.
Right.
But then he kind of backs off of that because he can tell maybe that's too many feelings for Shane.
Yeah.
Like he's very afraid of putting himself out there.
Feeling overload.
And Shane's very hard to read, I think. So
he is. He kind of plays that well, right? That just like vacant stare, that vacant hockey player stare.
Yes. Yeah. The pucks and deep stare. Like that's all there is to it. So I think that this really in his weird way is Ilya attempting to be more vulnerable. And every time he tries, he just backs off of it because he just loses his nerve.
Yeah.
And then finally he can't back off of calling him Shane. He can't be like, oh, I was just kidding. I only said that because you have a hot mouth. Like,
right.
He called him Shane, and like he can't hide away from that. And then Shane can't hide away from that either. And Shane's like, oh, I gotta go. I think all this talk about girls too is maybe making Shane realize that, he hasn't really been dating girls. Like Ilya has, and that's fine and whatever. Shane doesn't necessarily want to hear about it, but like Shane's wondering, like, can I even date girls? Like, is this like a thing? Because he really hasn't dated many.
Right.
I mean, Hayden's like, are you a virgin? Like, what's going on?
And it's maybe, I feel like you said this while we were watching, but like him figuring out maybe he doesn't like girls.
Exactly. Because yeah, Ilya's very plain about it. I like girls and I like you.
Right.
And Shane's like, I can't admit to liking anybody. I feel like I should like girls, but like, I can't admit that I like you because then I'd have to think about if I like girls. And then he just has overload and has to leave.
Yeah.
And it made me really sad for Ilya.
Yeah. I it seemed from the actor's standpoint, his face, he was like comprehending and understanding what was going on and just gonna let it be. Like he was like, okay, this is too much for you. I get it.
I think at first he was kind of fine just being like, okay, let's let it go. But then when Shane said, I can't do this, then he was like, Hollander. Like he, at that point is like, oh, okay. Like this is not just like a freak out in the moment. Like this is him like running away.
Right.
And I don't know, it was a very emotional scene for me. And again, I think they just did such a great job of adapting it from the book. I know you haven't read it, but I have. And they did a really good job. So.
Yeah. No, great scene, obviously.
So good. So the next time we see Shane, he's not doing great. He's at lunch with his parents and he's having a bad time.
He is, yeah. His parents are being a little pushy about going and seeing tennis, right? And he's just like,
Yeah, it seems like now that he's kind of shut down the thing with Ilya, he's just like, it can only be hockey. Hockey.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
it's
completely.
kind of how I read it. Like
yeah,
he's
totally.
Just like, I'm training. I cannot drink wine. I only have 2 weeks of the year where I get to be me. I don't want to go do this thing where I feel obligated. You know, he's just not interested. He doesn't want to go to Wimbledon. And his parents are kind of confused because, you know, there's been sort of this perception in the TV show that the mom is kind of pushy and she's the momager type and yada, yada. And it's really, again, not quite like that in the books at all.
I can see how people would read that, but I don't necessarily feel that way. So yeah, you know, for sure.
Yeah, I think that there's just not enough time to really show things on screen. But yeah, his parents in the book are good parents who love him.
Yeah.
And he's their only child. And they're, you know, they do everything for him.
It feels like that.
Yeah. I think we can say as parents of an only child who... And
I was an only child, sort of.
Yes,
so,
kind of. So.
Like, it totally makes sense. I don't see her being pushy. I like her a lot, actually.
Yeah, she's in the books, at least, she's like a huge hockey fan. And they reference that on the show as well. She's very into hockey.
Yeah.
So I think her kind of stepping up and doing the management stuff is really just more of an extension of that.
Just helping him.
Yeah, just helping him with his career and just being sort of involved in that way. So I think that they sense there's something going on with him because he's in a mood.
He's not being himself.
He's not being himself. And they're clearly concerned, but they clearly don't really know how to broach it very much.
Yeah.
Because they're like, what's up? And he finally is just like, I'm just in a weird mood. Never mind. Let's go to London, I guess. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the mom drops like a crazy line too. Like, lying isn't who you are or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. When he says, oh, well, you guys could just go and I could say I'm going because they're saying that they're not going to get Wimbledon tickets if he's not with them because he's the guy. And he says, well, you could just say I'm going and then just lie and say I'm sick. And she said, I don't want you to lie. That's not who you are. And
boom. And drop of the mic or whatever.
Yeah. No. And he's just like, I'm lying about so many things right now. And I'm lying to you and I'm lying to myself and I'm lying to the world. And I'm full of lies. I'm a man made out of lies.
Yep.
And it's hard for him.
Obviously. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think clearly this is a good scene because he's kind of the one who, you know, walks away from Ilya in that moment. But like, it's not easy for him. It's not like he's not like happy about it. He's just shutting down. He's like going into this protective mode.
Yeah. And what's up with that restaurant not having ginger ale?
I don't know, man.
Like, what?
Yeah. That's
excuse me?
Yeah. 1-star review.
Yeah. Do they not have a bar?
Right?
What? Okay.
I know, like ginger ale, that just seems like a very basic thing to have.
You should have said, I wish instead of sparkling waters, they said, is Pepsi okay?
Yes, that would have been diabolical. Would have loved that. So then we see Shane in his apartment and one of his teammates calls him to be like, hey, come out. There's this after hours party and the cast of this movie is going to be there.
Yeah.
And Shane is not really much of a going out person. Even in the book, I reread the scene and he didn't really want to go out, but basically the teammate in the book is a pain in the ass and would just call him every hour.
Yeah.
Until he came out. So he finally was just like, fine, I'll just go. Mm-hmm. Just to go and get out there. And this is, I think, you know, another kind of turning point for him because he gets there and you know, he hears there's this sort of movie star there and everybody's excited about it, but he almost seems a little more interested in flirting with the bartender.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, in the show, the bartender seemed pretty interested in flirting with him.
Yes, exactly.
And I was like, oh, is this what we're gonna do? We're going to go here, but apparently not. Because I was waiting for, I was Kip V2, right? Like, he doesn't serve smoothies, he serves beer.
Exactly.
So
nope, he is there. The bartender's being kind of flirty, but then he just kind of goes and he's mingling with his friend and walking around. But you still kind of see him looking very much out of place, I want to say.
Yeah. But he did get a beer. So that was
did get a beer. He did that. And then he goes to sit down at a table. And it turns out he has accidentally sat down with Rose Landry, who is a movie star. She's there. She's part of this cast that's filming this movie.
Yep.
He knows who she is. He's impressed by her.
He did seem like a little excited by the mention of X Squad or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
Which is I guess, Canadian Marvel.
Right. Sure. Probably something along those lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's clearly some kind of superhero or some kind of vague shenanigans like that. But no, he's excited, and he's excited to meet this actress and everything. And the interesting thing to me is that she puts him at ease right away, and that we don't see that with him with a lot of people. Yeah,
right. Yeah, no, he feels natural.
Yes.
Or like he's just talking to somebody he's talked to before.
He is always fairly awkward. Even I feel like when it comes to his parents and Hayden, because there's this part of him that he's kind of very guarded about.
Yeah.
And this is this person who he kind of is like, oh, it's a movie star. And she's just like, yeah, I'm a movie star, whatever. My brothers play hockey. I know who you are. And I think that is a really good thing for him to have somebody who's coming at him. I get the sense that a lot of the women in his life that he's encountered before this don't really know about hockey, or don't they're kind of are attracted to him because he's a hockey player, but it's not like they know about the sport.
They like that Rolex sponsorship.
Right, exactly. That Rolex money.
Yeah.
Rose has her own thing going on. She's an actual movie star. So she's not clout chasing. And she just seems to understand, he's got all of this pressure. And I don't know, she just understands him in a way that other people seemingly haven't.
Yeah, and I think that's why celebrities date celebrities too, or musicians dates, once you're kind of a certain level of fame, another person of that variety is going to be kind of the only person that understands what you're going through.
Yeah, exactly. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then I think for Shane, this is just a very unusual experience because he doesn't connect with too many women on this level. So
right.
For him, it's well, I guess it must be romantic because
I'm so confused.
I finally met a girl I feel comfortable around and I don't feel awkward around. And she's real pretty and everybody is she's great and she's a movie star. So I guess this is it. I guess this is what love is.
Yeah.
Or what have you. And it's just, I don't know, for him, it's just finally he can be in sort of a socially accepted relationship. And it must seem like a relief for him.
Yeah, for sure. When they're getting the paparazzi pictures taken later or whatever, that actually probably feels good and normal.
Pretty much his entire love life up until this point has just been sneaking around and illicit. And now he gets to be in a relationship that's out in the public eye.
Yeah.
With somebody he does seem to genuinely enjoy being around.
Yeah, for sure.
And connecting with. It doesn't feel like he's all right, sweet, a beard. He's like, no, I like this girl. This is totally a vibe.
No, and they do have a good chemistry.
They do. And in the book, you see a little bit more that Shane has had sex with women. He doesn't love it. He likes getting fucked more than he likes fucking, basically.
Right.
Is the thing.
He's the bottom.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And he doesn't feel comfortable asking for that from women partners or anything.
Sure.
Asking them to fuck him in any way. So this is all very sort of new and different for him.
Yeah.
But for him in the book, it's a huge relief that he's oh, well, this is a person that I get along with and it's okay. And maybe we can find, maybe the rest of it'll work out,
Right. And when they were sitting on the couch too, didn't Ilya say something about nice having a normal, regular girl around or whatever?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. It's a level of comfort in just existing in the world and not having people asking questions or pushing stuff on you all the time. Like, oh, here's my hot friend's, friend, and like all that kind of business.
Exactly. I mean, if nothing else, just dating somebody is going to give him a break from other people trying to make him date somebody.
Right.
In a weird way. But I do think that this is like a very earnest attempt from him to be in a relationship with a woman. Like, I don't think this is him like trying to be sort of in denial necessarily. Like, I think he understands very much what he feels for Ilya.
Right.
But he's just like, but that I can't do that. So like, I got to move on and do something else. And I can't be with a guy. So let me find a girl that I like. And for him, Rose is this girl and he does like her.
Yeah.
So we see them, they kind of hit it off. They start dating and they're getting photographed. It's all over the place. And very quickly, news gets back to Ilya Rozanov.
Very quickly. Yes.
Ilya Rozanov is not happy.
He doesn't seem to like that.
He is not thrilled about it at all because, he, over the course of this 8 years, has had his own sort of separate relationships and has been kissing women in public and has been sleeping with Svetlana and has talked about this with Shane. And in the meantime, he doesn't know anything about Shane and if Shane has been hooking up with other people. And now all of a sudden, the last time he talked to Shane, Shane's like, I can't do this. Goodbye. And now he's dating like a huge movie star.
Right.
Very publicly.
Yeah.
And Ilya's like, what the fuck?
No, feelings all over the place. Right.
Yeah. No, like his initial instinct is to say no.
Right.
He is just not cool. He is not cool with it. And, I think at first he kind of can play it off that like, oh, well, it's just that's my enemy. And like,
right.
He's so boring. How is he dating a movie star? But it just kind of becomes clearer, as this relationship continues on that he's really not having a great time with it. He's, in the gym with his team and he's riding the exercise bike and he goes to turn off the TV. And then he stubs his toe.
Yeah. You thought that was super funny.
I did. He does stub his toe in the book, but just the way he delivered it is just like, he's so mad about it.
Right.
I stubbed my toe.
It was funny. Yeah.
Just trying to gather whatever dignity he could, but he has no dignity right now. Like, he's in emotional pain. He's in physical pain because stubbing your toe really fucking hurts.
It does. It's one of the worst things to do to yourself.
It's so terrible.
Yep.
So yeah, no, he's just having all different levels of pain right now. And yeah, it's not going great for him. So, and at this point in the book, I believe that they're not texting at all, like whatsoever. And
gotcha.
I presume in the show that they are not.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like they were kind of out of touch at this point, right?
Exactly. We see that Montreal and Boston are going to play each other and Boston's coming to Montreal. So Rose texts Shane and is like, sorry, I can't make it to the games tonight. Shooting is running late, but meet me at this club afterwards. And Shane's like, okay.
I thought the whole thing about not wanting to dance was cute because he knew he was going to have to dance. You could just tell that was like a couple relationship thing.
Exactly. Yeah. You could tell that they had it, it's set up. It's established. They've been doing a thing. Like they're a thing.
They're the it couple.
They're the it couple. She calls him babe and
right.
He's her boyfriend and
they can talk hockey. Which, this episode being the one that we see the most hockey and people talk about hockey the most, like when they were talking about hockey, it was very real about like saying, oh, he's in the AHL. And then Shane says, that's not nothing. Like that's real hockey talk right there.
Yeah. Or that her other brother was in the NCAA and they went to the Frozen Four. And like, that is a huge deal.
Right.
That's very big.
Yeah. So actual hockey talk.
Yes. Actual hockey talk, which was great.
Yeah.
So, which in the book, they don't get into that level of detail, I don't think.
Oh, interesting.
So I think it's just kind of like, and then they made small talk and talked about her brothers playing hockey.
Yep.
But like, they didn't get into those specifics.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like that for him. I'm happy he found her, Like,
no, I mean, same. I would feel much better about it if Ilya wasn't just going through it, like capital everything. So they're texting and they decide to meet up. But you do see Shane scroll over through his texts and kind of click into his text thread with Ilya.
Oh, you do? I didn't see that.
Yes.
Well, I'm not very observant.
Okay, well, I shouldn't say you see that. I should say everybody else sees that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only watched it twice. I don't, maybe the third time I'll pick that up.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So he kind of peeks in there, but, it's just...
It's dead.
It's dead.
It's a dead end.
It's a dead end.
He's moved on.
He's trying he's trying his darndest, but he's checking the text. So
yeah,
who knows how dead those feelings are? Probably not very.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Yeah, and they definitely are not dead on Ilya's end, because after the game, which is a very lackluster game, I think Shane's team wins 1-0, and the announcers are like, where was Shane Hollander? Where was Ilya Rozanov?
Right.
You do see Ilya on the bench just looking completely checked out, like he is not happy. And then you cut to him staring at himself in the bathroom mirror after the game, just, again, going through it, like just not having a good time.
Yeah.
Having a terrible time. And finally he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go out and get laid. Like, I can't think about this anymore.
Can't wallow in this. Let's go bang a girl.
Yes, exactly. You know, so what's the best way to get over somebody? Get under somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So he rallies his team. They're going to go to a club.
Yeah.
And out of all the clubs in Montreal,
out of all of them,
he ends up at the same one where Shane is, with Rose, and her friend Miles.
There's only a couple in Montreal.
I know there can't be that many clubs, I guess.
No, there's not. I've been there. There's like 2.
Okay, well, there you have it. So Shane meets up with Rose, and they talk about the game a little bit. Rose's, I think, co-star Miles is there, and he's pretty clearly into Shane as well.
Yeah,
and pretty flirty with him.
He is definitely flirty. This is the first time I felt like maybe she was actually a movie star.
Right.
She doesn't give me like the super high-end movie star vibe, which is fine. I like her as the character. I like the actress. I think it works fine, but like, when he met her, I was like, this is the movie star girl that everyone's like obsessed with. Okay.
But I think that was the point, is like people perceive her a certain way, but he sees her as this sort of like person that he can connect with.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's a lot more normal than like the media would have you think.
Exactly. Just like he is very different than the media portrays him, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they see each other in a certain way.
Yeah, but her sitting at that table with her co-star, definitely
in the silver dress, and
I was like, oh, okay, she's notable in this universe.
Exactly, for sure. So she gets Shane to go dance with her, and Miles goes to grab them some drinks. And at the bar, he catches the eye of Ilya Rozanov, who Ilya recognizes him, I believe, and is like, wait, that's that co-star from that movie.
Yeah, thank you for pointing this out to me, because I thought like the guy was just flirting with him. He's like, oh, that's Ilya, I'm going to flirt with him or something. And then Ilya was like, no, but obviously there was a lot more going on that I did not pick up.
I believe it was Ilya went, oh shit, that's Rose Landry's co-star.
Yeah.
Is Rose Landry here? Does that mean Shane is here? Because he immediately goes and starts looking around the dance floor, and he sees Shane and Rose, and Shane's standing there awkwardly because that's just what Shane does. And
yeah.
Rose has her hands up his shirt and she's dancing around, and he's not much of a dancer, but he's just standing there.
I thought he was a great dancer. That's exactly how people should dance.
You're just saying that because he's a better dancer than you.
I mean, he might be.
He was literally just standing still. He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you dance, right?
I mean, I guess, sure.
It's a lot less embarrassing than actually trying to dance.
That is a good point. So there you have it. Well, so they're, dancing. Miles goes over and joins them.
He sure does. Holy smokes.
Yeah, this was a little much for me.
It was a little weird,
Yeah, in the book, he was certainly flirty, but dancing up on Shane and like kind of kissing the back of his neck felt very out of character for Shane to tolerate.
It felt like, a scene in a movie where like the drugs have taken over, or everyone's just kind of like let go from like too much alcohol, too much, drugs, and like things just happen. But like it didn't fit with the vibe for me. I thought it was kind of hot, but like it was still just like, really?
It just didn't seem like anything we knew about Shane at that moment.
Right.
The only thing I can really think of is that he's already dancing with Rose, and then as Miles comes up, he sees Cliff Marlowe, who is Ilya's teammate. And then he is like, oh shit, Ilya's teammate is here. Is Ilya here? So he might just not even notice any of the stuff with Miles.
He's just in his head.
As soon as he sees Ilya, and Ilya at this point is making out with a lady, he's just like, that's it. He's just dialed in on that. Like Miles could be just, I don't know, doing like semaphore behind him. Like he would have no idea.
Right.
He's just
that checks out. Yeah.
He's just locked in on Ilya. Like that's all that matters to him. So he manages to duck away and say he needs to use the restroom, but he does not get very far. He simply goes over to the edge of the dance floor where he and Ilya proceed to basically eye fuck each other a crazy amount. And it is intercut with scenes of Shane going home with Rose and going up the stairs to his apartment like they did earlier.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, you just kind of cut back and forth between these. And I should say the whole soundtrack to this in the club is...
Fucking crushed it.
Fucking crushed it. It's All the Things She Said by Tattoo. And
that's where it starts out when they get into the club.
That's where it starts out, where they get into the club. And that song, I know you don't have the same relationship with that song as I do.
True. I really only heard about it when I heard the Poppy version. I didn't even know it was a cover. I thought it was her song.
Yes. No. So it came out like in the early 2000s, I want to say. And it was sort of at that time when it was like, especially for women, like being queer was like this very sort of performative, like, you know, guys just thought it was like hot for women to make out in front of each other and things like that. You know, in college, certainly, like I was interested in dating girls and guys were interested in watching me make out with girls. And I was like, yeah, no, this isn't for that. Like, that's not like, no, that's not like what this is. Like, goodbye. But it was, very much this sort of like male gazy kind of thing. So the song is like about, you know, two girls and they're in love and it's like this thing, but like the whole thing was not real. Like it was just this music producer put it on, like it was a fake relationship between these girls. But at the time it was considered so like scandalous for like these two teenage girls to be like making this love song about each other, and they were kissing on red carpets and in the music video in the rain and all of this stuff. And it was like very crazy and intense. So it was very much like sort of a very pivotal queer pop culture moment back then.
Yeah, I totally didn't ever have that on my radar and totally missed it. But I know like when I showed you the Poppy song, you're like, yeah, that's the Tattoo song. And then we watched the video. I was like, holy smokes, this is great. So it just is culturally so sort of significant, I think. Yeah.
If you are at all in the queer community. And I think a lot of people really resonated with that song, especially those of us of a certain age.
Sure.
For sure.
And the song's lyrics like just are literally just nail the situation.
It really, really does. Like the Feist song earlier in the episode.
Right.
Where just the lyrics are just saying things and you're just like, oh, okay, this is really highlighting things.
Right.
So, and then the song shifts from the Tattoo version to it's Harrison.
Yep.
Who's a Canadian DJ, I think you said.
Yeah, DJ type person. I don't know much about him, but yeah, he's from Toronto or something.
Yeah, but it's a more slowed down kind of.
It's a club remix kind of thing, and it just fits so well. The transition's great, and then that vibe of the song with them in the club with the lights kind of, flashing and red and black and shifting all over their face. The lighting people for that ending scene should win a lighting award.
I have watched the episode 3 times now, and every time I've like burst into tears at that scene. It's like so emotional and powerful, just the way that they are looking at each other.
Yeah.
And like, there's just so much going on in that look.
Yeah.
And again, this brings me back to what I was talking about earlier, where it's like the casting was what's so important in this show to me, because those two actors are so dialed in with each other. And like, I don't know, they just sold it so well.
Yeah. 1,000%.
I mean, I just couldn't even handle it. And then the show kind of cuts back and forth between them on the dance floor staring at each other. And then Shane is home with Rose, and Ilya goes back to the hotel room and is in the shower by himself. And then you cut off with them just sort of staring off into space but probably thinking about each other. And
well, I think Ilya was certainly thinking about something in the shower.
Well, yes, he definitely was.
There were some thoughts going.
There were thoughts happening. And then I believe Shane probably was as well.
Yeah. His whole sex scene with her was certainly interesting. Like his facial expressions, like it was kind of this uneasiness, or maybe he's thinking about something else kind of thing. Like it was, again, a confused face.
Yeah, it's just so different from all of the scenes that you see with him and Ilya. You know, it just seems so almost sort of obligatory or something. Right. It's just not, it's missing the spice.
Yeah. No, exactly.
The chemistry is not there.
It wasn't like the most explicit sex scene in this, but like it was one of the more bland, like, yeah, this isn't hot like what we saw previously in the show.
Yeah, it felt perfunctory.
Yeah.
At least on Shane's end.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, this is what we do. We go out to the club, we come home, we have the sex. Okay, we go to sleep. Yeah.
Right, exactly. He's like, this is what normal people do. I'm very normal.
I'm very normal.
Extremely normal.
Look how normal I am, just doing sex.
Look at me, very normal, as I stare off into the distance thinking about this guy.
Right.
Which is normal. Leave me alone.
Yep.
And that's where the episode ends.
Crushing, right?
So crushing.
The ends of these episodes are like not fun.
They just keep doing that to me. It's like every episode, like they kind of start and they like hook me in with like this cute sweetness. And like this one, I had like that nice little montage and everything was great. And they were smiling and like it was an upbeat song. And then it ends on like this total just
fucking body slam you at the end.
Yeah. I know. I was so sad.
Yeah. No, understandable.
It was really sad.
Yeah.
But, it felt earned. It didn't feel like.
Absolutely.
It didn't feel like it was not, I don't know. It didn't feel engineered or anything like that. Like,
yeah,
it felt very natural that they would have this whole thing. And then the second things would start to get serious, that Shane would panic and go try to be a real boy.
Yeah.
But he and Ilya just have this like power over each other where even when they're trying to avoid each other, they just end up in the same place and they just, have to eye fuck about it. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
What you got to do. Yeah, I thought the episode was fantastic. I think the first two episodes are just there to establish everything. And like, I don't know that I loved the first two episodes. I thought they were good. Third episode, I was like, ooh. And then this one, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great episode of television.
And that makes me happy too, because I knew that you liked the third episode so much too. And I was hoping that you would have that sort of same connection with the Shane and Ilya episode as well. And now I feel like you got that moment.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Like, I think the first three episodes leading into this, like, are fantastic. This is good television. People should be freaking out about it. And they are.
Yeah. And for good reason. It's so well written. It's so well acted. The chemistry is so great. It's hitting on every single note for me.
Yep.
The adaptation, again, remains so good. Any changes that they've had to make from the books, I feel like have been really thoughtfully considered. And I don't know, it's just...
Yeah, and they started using some of their budget in this episode too, which I really appreciated.
That did help a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that location budget really
exactly.
started
they scouted
in.
They scouted some locations and like set up some lights and like had cameras that, showed the whole area. It's great. I
definitely noticed like when Shane had lunch with his parents, it was the same place where he had lunch with them in like the first episode.
That kind of checks out though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, I was just like, oh yeah, that's just because they probably shot all that on the same day, I'm sure.
Yeah, when we were listening to that Jacob Tierney interview, right? They shot it like all together, right? Like they didn't like shoot like episode 1, then 2. Like it was all mishmash.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how actors do that. That's insane.
No, it's crazy to me.
So yeah, they probably just like reset the cameras and shot that scene after the one we saw before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm really happy that you responded as well to that episode. I couldn't wait to watch it, so I watched it at like 7:30 a.m. on Friday, like a totally normal, healthy person.
Absolutely
does.
And then when I asked you about it, you were completely just chill, and I was like, I don't know if she liked it. You just gave me nothing.
I gave you nothing. I wanted you to be able to go in and watch it with your own feelings and not have my feelings, have any impact on you. I didn't want to like hype it up and then have you be like, eh.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you to sort of experience it the way that you were going to experience it. And then we watched it and then you were like, well, that was fucking awesome. And I was like, yes, we got him, guys.
Yep. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, I was like, how was it? And you're like, yeah, it's good.
I was like, yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
I was like,
I played it so cool.
So cool.
I've never been that chill in my entire life.
I knew something was up. I was like, either it sucked or it was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah. Turned out it was really good.
Yeah. Well, I was also I just finished watching it and I was trying not to have feelings all over the place. So
right.
You know that I don't enjoy having feelings.
Yeah, no, you're
not a thing
you're very much like Shane and Ilya.
Yes, I think that's part of why I gravitate so much towards the Shane and Ilya storyline is like, I am also emotionally stunted.
Yep.
Like I vibe with that. Like I might be a middle-aged lady, but I connect with those guys on that level of like, I also am out of touch with my feelings and would prefer not to think about that.
Nope.
So yeah, no, the show continues being great. I don't understand how I'm supposed to wait like another 6 days until the next episode.
It's brutal. Yeah.
And then another 2 weeks until the last episode.
Oh, there's a huge gap between the...
Well, no.
No,
yeah.
I understand how time works. Don't worry.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. We'll do a little refresher course for you later.
And time was a big part of this one, right? With them looking at the calendars all the time. I don't think we talked about that, but that was kind of a big part of it. And it tied into that Feist song too.
It did. Yeah. Honestly, that whole montage of that Feist song, I mean, just that right there was great.
Right. Shout out to the editors too, because they're crushing it.
They are. No, all of the editing in this episode. I mean, like I said, I've watched this episode 3 times now, and every time, like it gets to the last scene, and I'm like, wait, it's almost over. Like, how did it go so fast?
This episode moves real fast.
It goes so fast.
Yeah,
but it feels so good. It's just
so fast, so good.
It's just great. It's great television, and I honestly. I know it's parasocial, but I'm so proud of these kids. I'm just like, you crazy kids, you're doing it.
No, you can't be proud of them.
No, I mean, I can. It's fine. It's just weird.
Well, sure.
They don't know me. I don't know them.
I mean, we're talking about them. That's weird too.
I guess so. But I'm not just like, oh, it's a good show, but I'm like, no, I have maternal pride in these guys that I've been watching have fake sex for 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
So, what you going to do?
Nope.
But yeah, I love it. I'm really happy that it's doing so well. And I am simultaneously looking very forward to the last 2 episodes and also dreading them because then it's going to be over.
Right.
And that's going to be a problem.
You just got to wait for season 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be
rough out here.
It's gonna be real hard out here.
It's all right. Love Island will be back soon.
Asses are asses. Yes. What can I say? I think that's going to be the end of regulation for this bonus episode of Ice is Slippery. You can find us on Tumblr, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram at Ice is Slippery Pod. You can also email us at iceisslipperypod@gmail.com. Until next time, stay out of the penalty box.